Well, hey everybody, it's Paul and welcome to my kitchen. I was bemoaning the fact that it has been a year since I've really been out to a Chinese restaurant with the pandemic and everything going on. Longtime listener to the channel suggested we could make our own Chinese food. And I thought, that's a great idea. I've got some green peppers that have been sitting in the fridge for a little bit too long. What could I make that is easy to do with green peppers? And I thought, well, pepper steak. You can't get much easier than onions, green peppers, and some steak. So that's what I'm going to do. And as always, I'm more concerned with keeping it quick and easy, simple, than being authentic. So this is just our own little concoction we do. Quick, easy, get it done, but still it tastes good. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so I've got some onion, got some green pepper. I should say, I'm just making a small portion just for myself today. Of course, you would scale it up if you want to feed more people. So we'll just get this onion going here. And this is a sweet onion, so it's not very strong, which is nice because you can, I just cut it in half, say, that way, and then bite-sized pieces. Don't have to be small, but bite-sized, what's the average piece here? Let's see, I'd say something like that. We'll cook it till it's almost translucent. Okay, so if you're doing pepper steak, you gotta have some pepper. So here's where that comes in. And it's funny, it's kind of maybe a misnomer. You would think pepper steak is spicy, but it's really not. It sounds like it would be a spicy dish. So, I'll just clean these up a little bit. Bite-sized, manageable pieces. Not tiny bits like you'd see on a pizza. Really no right or wrong way. Okay, that's a good start. So this is in the package. I've got 2 porterhouse here. I thought that'd be a good place to start. You could cut it before you cook it. You could cook it, then cut it. I think I'm going to cook and then cut it, but there again, I don't think there's a right or wrong. Alright, I've got my pan heating up here. I'm going to very lightly oil. Just a smidgen. And I should say, I don't recommend using porterhouse or T-bone or any better cut of meat. Really isn't necessary. It's just, I had some leftover from, I get my beef half a cow at a time from a local farmer. And we just got some recently, about 2 weeks ago, so I had just a few steaks left over that I wanted to use up so they don't get confused. Hence, that's why I'm using these cuts, but any kind of sirloin steak or something, cube steak, I think would be sufficient, you know. We just use what we have on hand. It's part of the goals, just makes it very simple, very easy ingredients that are likely to be on hand. Not trying to go for anything even remotely authentic. And I do want to say a long-time friend of the channel, long-time viewer, St. Rude is the one that came up with this fine idea. And he is also going to prepare it. And I'm sure he always throws a lot more style and fanciness into his meals that he prepares. I go for the very basic, easy way to go. For us lazy men, kind of call it lazy man cooking, I guess. But he does it upright, so check out St. Rude's version. I don't know if he's got it up yet or not, but he was going to go out and purchase some of the items he needed, so I'm going to be looking for his version, and when it does come out, I'll be sure to link it, of course, in my description. And thank you, sir, for a fine idea. This was a fun thing. I really do miss going out to my Chinese buffets and Chinese restaurants. It's kind of like a hobby of mine almost. And it's been a long time. I guess we just now recently opened up to about 50% capacity, so. But I guess I'm playing it safe, not really going out much until I get my jab, and then I'll have more confidence. But so I think these are looking about done enough to cut up, because I'm going to put them in with the onions and get those cooking. So this just allows me to see where the fatty pieces are and cut those off. Maybe it's better to do it beforehand. I'm not sure what the right way is to do it. So, back in a flash. So I took the meat out, I wiped out the old cast iron, put some water in it. I'm just gonna turn up the heat now and start the onions and green peppers going while I'm cutting up the meat. I'll break these up a little bit better. Can't do it one-handed. So what you want is single layers, so these will get nice and soft. So if you get, 2 layers, you want to try to get them apart. Well, that sure brings out the green, don't it? That's just beautiful looking. I'm gonna add my steak back to it. There we go. You don't get a whole bunch of meat once you take off the fat and the bones. Now this is getting to be how you want it, almost see-through. Almost see-through. Now these ones got a long ways to go yet, but they're getting there. So Now this is where you can be a little creative, is making the gravy, the sauce, yeah, the gravy, I guess. One thing I always have on hand is bouillon. I like the powder. A lot of times you see it in the cubes, but if you can get the powder, I go that way. And you don't have to start with an exact measurement. I'd say this is a teaspoon or two. And I would just layer that around there. I know we'll probably need some more, but we can add that as we go. Give that a little mix. And this is going to cook down. Now, to me, there's one thing that always makes things have that Asian flavor in addition to soy sauce, and they use a lot of ginger. And so I just put, not too much because ginger's strong. So you want to start small and always add to it. It's a whole lot easier to add to than try to take away. And here I've got some garlic powder. Garlic, makes everything taste better. There again, start small and add to it as you like. Now that is looking good. I think we're about ready to thicken it. I start with about that much, and I'll add just a little bit of water at a time, just a drizzle, until you get like a thick little paste going. You want to use cold water. Now I wanted to show you on purpose, this is a little bit too thin. It probably would work, but you'd have to put a lot in. So I put in a little bit more so I can kind of show you. And you can, it kind of feels like it's setting up a little almost when you're scraping it around. Now obviously I'm probably not going to need all this to thicken it, but I just wanted to show you. Kind of like, you feel like you can't hardly pull a spoon through it. I think it's mighty thick. But that's about what you want. When you put it in, you want to keep it moving. See how it goes from super thick to almost a thick liquid, maybe, you would say. I don't know if the camera picks up. It's thicker than milk. Okay, so what we'll do is just drizzle this in there. You want to keep it moving right where it hits. And that'll spread all around. But it won't take a whole lot to thicken this up. I mean, we don't want it to, you put too much, you'll have something that's really gummy and solidified. You don't want that. If you do get too much, and you can always add in more soy, water, whatever you gotta do. Probably just a little bit of soy might fix you up, but see how this is getting like a nice gravy. There we go. It doesn't really change the flavor much. Now this is just going to be for me, but it's good practice anyway. I get a little bowl. I call it my little tasting bowl. And just put a little bit in there. And we'll see how it goes. That's got great flavor. That is looking good. I'm going to add just a hair bit more of soy for coloring the final hit of that oriental type of flavor. I've got my temp way down. Oh yeah. There we go. I tell you, this looks great. Honestly, that beef just melts in your mouth. Amazing. Now I would say put this on some rice and you will have a fine, easy to do, simple, but tasty meal. You can't beat that. So thank you, St. Rude, for the idea. Thank you to everybody that constantly stops by, leaves a comment. Thank you so much for your support. It's always a pleasure. Until next time, we'll see you.